Today, we're gonna work on the evidence-based questions on the reading section. At the beginning, we need to know how we can get to know this is an evidence-based question. So these, as we said, the evidence-based questions are to be handled today. There are 4 citations in the answer choices. Yes, Malak, you have a problem? Let me give you the permission to speak. Yes, Malak.
Hello, teacher. My name is Adam. Can I rename my name?
No worries, Adam. No worries. You don't have to worry. The first thing that you need to learn is to how to recognize the evidence-based questions from the rest of the questions on the reading section. Okay, you will find that this kind of questions or this type of questions has 4 citations in the answer choices. This means that you will not find phrases or sentences or any vocab words. Instead, you will find 4 citations. Just let me show you. Like this. You will find the answer choices. Look at that. Okay, the answer choices have line references, line 16 till 19, 25 till 28, 38 till 44, 44 till 51. We call these citations or line references. Also, you will find the word evidence. Okay, you will find the word evidence, and you will find in the answer choices, you will find citations. Is it clear? Look at the other, types of questions. You will find here words, vocab words. You will find here phrases. So, but the evidence questions are very, are very unique, are very distinguishable. So it's evidence. This is an evidence question. So let's get back to our presentation. But we have 2 kinds of evidence-based questions. The first one is a single evidence-based question or the single evidence-based questions. This means that this question is only, standing alone by itself. You are going to deal with it, with its heading, as one question only. The other type has to do with, or is called, the paired evidence questions with specific ones. So this means that the evidence question will be paired up with another specific question so that you can be answering them both together. So instead of answering one question, you will be answering 2 questions at a time. Okay, so check how can I know it's a paired evidence question or it's only a single evidence-based question? You need to check for the word previous. If you find the word previous in the heading of the evidence question, this means that this evidence-based question is paired up with the previous specific one. Let's have a look. Here, which choice best provides the evidence for the answer to the previous question? So the presence of the word previous tells you that this question, which is question number 34, is paired up with the previous question, which is question number 33. So you're going to be answering 33 and 34 together. Is it clear? Got it? Let me check if you totally understood that or not. I'm gonna, pick anyone, okay, to answer this question. Here, this evidence question. is a single-based question, evidence-based question, or it's paired up with a more specific one previously. Okay, let me pick Habiba. Yes. Yes, Habiba.
It's a paired question.
Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Because you found the word
Previous.
excellent. Thank you so much. So this is the first step. You're able to recognize the type of the question. That's perfect because of the presence of 4 citations in the choices. And you were able to know that it is paired up with the one before, the question before. So you are going to answer them together. Let me ask you one question. Do you think that the single evidence-based question is going to be more challenging than the paired one, or it can be easier? So now my question is about the single. The single, this means that it doesn't have the word the previous, and it is not paired up with another question. So may you please raise your hand? What do you think? The paired questions are more challenging, or the single based question, evidence-based question? Yes, Ahmed.
It's definitely much easier, yeah.
The single might be much easier, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. This is very logical because at least you're going to work on one question only. But here you're required to deal with 2 questions with their, whatever different parts. You are required, they're going to be demanding a little bit. You're going to check various parts here and there. So this is a very logical, answer, Ahmed Shadi. Thank you so much. Let's now get to know how to handle the questions. As you all know, the people or the students who are, originally my students or our guests who are attending the free sessions regularly, and I know that they missed our session last week, but it was recorded. I didn't wish to cancel it totally, but instead I posted a recording. Hopefully it was beneficial for all of you. It was handling the paired passages, which, the set of paired passages is considered to be, a little bit very challenging. So hopefully you guys can be making use of, the recordings posted. So here, how to handle the evidence question, especially in case it is paired with a specific one. As you know, I wanted to say that I like to give you steps to follow. Once you follow the steps, you will be able to handle the questions easily. I like to be given a certain, manual or a certain catalog in order to be able to deal with whatever issue in my life. Whether it's a new device I'm buying, a new skill I need to acquire. So it's going to be very helpful to have some steps to follow, in an organized way, so that you can get to the right answer immediately. The first step, you need to read the heading of the first question and assign its main elements. This is the very first step you need to do, okay? So, or you need to carry out. So read the heading of the first question and assign its main elements. How do I know its, main elements? Any nouns, any important nouns, any particular proper nouns, any words that have strong tones. So you can please write this down. The main elements of any found in any heading of any question This is not specifically for the evidence-based questions. This is for any question you're dealing with on the reading section. You need to assign its main elements. Getting to know its main elements, you actually, you're getting to know the answer. You're actually getting to know the main focus of the question. So you're going to be able to find the perfect answer to this question, okay? What are those main elements? Any nouns, any proper nouns, any words that have strong tones, any words that have strong tones, including the adjectives and so on. Any, certain words that can give you certain relationships, like different, similar. Is it clear? So these are very, very important. So this is how to know or to name the main elements. Is it clear? Fair enough? So hopefully you guys are able to take notes, and I'll be very, very appreciative if I can find or see some of your notes posted on our different groups, either the Telegram groups or the WhatsApp ones. Step number two. Step number two, try to search for its key elements. Now remember that I told you have to assign the main elements were of the first question. Now we're dealing with the paired, okay? So the first question, you're gonna assign its main elements and try to search for its key elements or their references. Sometimes the key elements are not directly stated. They can be referred to using certain pronouns or certain, articles that can refer back to them. So take care. Sometimes the citation will not mention the main elements directly. So you need to make sure that you are, dealing with the best in citation if you cover in this citation as many of the main elements as possible. Okay, now let's see. Use the process of elimination to eliminate the irrelevant citations that do not meet the main focus of the first question. So remember number two, we're supposed to be searching for these key elements in each citation found in the evidence question. Then we're gonna eliminate, of course, the process of elimination is one of the most important, activities you're gonna do or carry out during your during handling the reading section and the writing section as well. But you need to use the process of elimination to eliminate the irrelevant citations that do not meet the main focus of the first question. Before I add more steps, let's apply these ones so that you can have a clear idea about the steps that I am talking about theoretically. Okay, so let's get to, look at that. Where is the first question? 33. What is the evidence question? 34. So let me assign with you the main elements of the first question. According to the first two paragraphs. According to the first two paragraphs. First two paragraphs. So the question is targeting what was mentioned in the first two paragraphs. That professor, okay, that professor. So I got to know that my question is mainly focusing on a certain professor mentioned in both paragraphs. Can best be described as. Okay, so I have, I have nothing else mentioned other than the word best. So you need to go for the best description, the best answer. Okay, a best what? The best what? description. So described is telling you that we're gonna, focus on a certain description that is related to the professor. Professor, not a certain child, not the narrator, not anything, but the professor. Okay, so these are the main elements. I'm gonna do my best to find these elements or their references in these citations. I'm gonna read the citation, each citation, and I'm gonna relate these main elements to each one of them. Let me get to the citations. Okay, let me write the citation 16 to 19. You can take some notes of the citations, 16 till 19, 25 till 28, 38 till 44, 44 till 51. And by the way, the evidence questions are handled the same exact way in any standardized test. Okay? So let's go for, this is the first citation. Gold, it's from 16 till 19. Gold, silver, and precious stones gleamed before him. Okay, now I have a pronoun. I don't know this pronoun is referring to whom. That's why I need to return back to read whether him is referring to the professor in question or any certain character, any other certain character, or any other certain person. Is it clear? So let me tell you a very important tip. If you have a certain citation that is related to the first paragraph, then it is very recommended that you need to be reading the first paragraph or the part before. Why? Because it's not going to be a waste of time at all. The first paragraph is the most important paragraph in any passage. This paragraph tells you what you're gonna read, the main ideas about the whole passage. So let's read. There came to the camp of a certain professor, okay, who was engaged in excavating the ruins of an ancient Egyptian city. A young and faultlessly attired Englishman, so I'm still talking about that professor, whose thirst for dramatic adventure had led him to offer his services as an unpaid assistant digger. So he is offering his services for free, just because he has a certain thirst for a certain dramatic adventure. Okay, this immaculate personage, so he is a person. Okay, personage is referring to his person or his personality, had read in novels and tales many an account of the wonders which the spade of the excavator could reveal, and he firmly believed that it was only necessary to set a man of lower status to dig a little hole in the ground to open the way to the treasuries of the pharaohs, as one would expect. So the guy is a professor. He's working he was engaged in excavating the ruins of an ancient Egyptian city. He is so obsessed with the treasuries of the pharaohs. So he volunteered to go on a certain mission as an unpaid assistant digger in order to find out about these treasuries. So gold, silver, precious stones. Now I came to understand why this sentence has gold, silver, and precious stones. They are referring to the treasuries. Gleamed before him in his imagination. So it's not really going on. It's not really gleaming before him. It's only in his imagination. As he hurried along subterranean passages to the vaults of long dead kings. Yeah, he is digging. He is digging. So he wanted to know, and he's so excited. And he started imagining the gold and silver and precious stones that he might be finding, right? So let me ask you, the most important thing that I'm searching for, the main focus here is about the professor. Is there any reference to the professor? May you please raise your hand. Is there any reference to the professor? May you raise your hand? Yeah. Yes, Adam, go ahead.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, there is, right? Okay, so
Yes.
yeah, so it can be a probable answer. I will keep it. I will not eliminate it. So let's see number 25, line 25. In the intervals, okay, do you know which intervals? The intervals. This is an article that refers back to something perhaps stated earlier. So in the intervals between such experiences, I have also such experiences. Maybe it's related to the experiences, you know, the things that he is doing, whatever activities he is carrying out, maybe. So in the intervals between such experiences, he was of opinion. I want to make sure that what is before is referring to the experiences I came to understand, and he is referring to the same guy I'm talking about, the professor. He expected to slide upon the seat of his very well-made breeches down the staircase of the ruined palace, which he had entered by the way of the skylight, and to find himself at the bottom in the presence of the bejeweled dead. Okay, all of that is in his imagination. So in the intervals between such experiences, he was of opinion that a little quiet gazelle shooting will agreeably fill in the swiftly passing hours. So there is a reference to him here and the intervals between such experiences, right? So do you think that this can be related to something, to a description of him or his person or his personality or something? What do you think? Yani here, I have a reference to his imagination. So he can be a little bit imaginative. He is trying to imagine. This can be describing a little bit about his personality. But here I'm talking about the intervals, about the experiences. He was of opinion. Yeah, maybe he has a certain opinion. What is this opinion related to? Like related to taking decisions or related to like certain decisiveness, or is related to shooting something. So just a second, please. Hold on. Okay, we secured the plug now. Okay, now we have here, so if I'm comparing A to B, perhaps I can be eliminating one of them. Okay, by the way, I chose for you one challenging question. Okay, it's a challenging one. So it's not an easy one. I meant to give you a certain challenging question in order for you to think about your priorities, because we're gonna prioritize the best answer. Okay, may you please raise your hand if I'm stuck between A and B, which one can be related more to the professor can best be described as? Okay, I have like four sweet people raising their hands. Okay, I have more, mashallah. Yes, dear Karim Assam.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
dear.
think letter A may fit better.
Yeah, may fit better. Thank you so much. That's absolutely great. Thank you so much, ya Karim. There is a question. It can happen that I can get stuck between two pieces of evidence, not knowing which one is better. Yes, it can happen. Definitely it can happen. And in this case, you can keep them both. In case you cannot or you don't know or you are not able to decide, so you can keep them both. Okay, then one of you might ask, if I kept them both, then I might not be able to answer correctly. No, don't forget that we have another question. We're answering the two questions together. I take the main elements from the first question, search for them in the second question, then I have another step, which is the matching process. Whatever cannot be matched with any of these citations will be eliminated. So don't worry. You need to find a suitable match, a relevant match. In case you didn't find a suitable match for a certain citation, then it's not going to be the right answer at all. Don't feel like bad if you are stuck between two pieces of evidence. Let's go for 38 till 44. 38 till 44. This is from this one, 38. After 3 weeks' work on his distressing site, till now I didn't mention him, the professor, okay, I mentioned him, announced that he had managed to trace through the mud the outline of the palace. So he had managed to do something of the palace walls, once the feature of the city, and that the work here might now be regarded as finished. Like he finished his work. Now, I have a reference to the professor, but don't forget that we need a description. We need a description to him and or his personality. Here, I'm saying that he is saying that, yeah, he's done with his mission, had managed. This is an activity. This is like an action. He had managed to trace through the mud the outline of the palace walls, once the feature of the city, and that the work is the main focus here. I'm not asked about the work. Okay. One of the main important things to help you recognize the main focus of a sentence is to check the subject of the main verb. The subject of the main verb. The work might be regarded as finished. So the work is a main focus. Actually, I'm not asked about the work. So this might be not the best answer, because one of the main elements of the main focus here is the work. My question is not addressing the work. Okay, take care. Even if you have a reference to the professor, but you have extra information too. You have extra information that is not required at all by the question. Letter D, 44 till 51. 44 till 51, yes, this is the pink part. He was then conducted to a desolate spot in the desert. And until the day on which he fled back to England, he was kept to the monotonous task of superintending a gang of natives whose sole business it was to dig a very large hole in the sand day after day and week after week. Here I came to introduce certain other people, okay, gang of natives. Actually, I wasn't asked about them. Why would I go for a piece of evidence that is addressing some other people who are not being targeted by my question? So imagine now, hopefully you started to get a sense of the best answer. The best answer, the best citation shouldn't be including any main focus related to a certain other element, okay, like the work, the gang of natives. My main focus is on the professor himself and the description of him. So I related to this part his imagination. So I related this part to his personality. He can imagine very well. Okay, he is very enthusiastic. He wanted to know more about, the treasuries and so on. To the extent that he started to imagine that gold, silver, and precious stones are gleaming before him. Here I started talking about intervals, okay, between such experiences. He was of opinion that a little quiet gazelle shooting would agreeably fill in. So you see, gazelle shooting is the main focus, is the subject for the verb would agreeably fill in the swiftly passing hours. But here, the main thing, okay, here I have gold, silver, and precious stones gleamed before him. Yes, I have some certain items, but I have many references to him in his imagination, him as he hurried along the subterranean passages to the vaults of long dead kings. So perhaps the best answers might be related to the first citations. At least I wouldn't find any, any extra information telling me about the work, about, the task that has been finished, about the city, about the gang of natives. But perhaps if I get stuck, I'll be stuck between the first two citations. Do you agree, or you want me to take all the citations with me for the next step, which I will reveal now? Well, what do you think? What do you think? Yes, Jana. Were you able to decide upon the best piece of evidence, or you are a little bit confused? Jana? Or let me pick another one. Yes, Maya. Yes, Maya.
I think the first one is the best answer.
The first one is the best answer. Thank you so much. This is a good, a good choice actually. But in case I'll go too far, I will say that I'm totally stuck. I don't know exactly which is the best piece of evidence. I feel like all of them are referring to the professor. I feel like overwhelmed by all of them. So can there be a worse situation? Can there be a worse situation? I don't think so. Okay. Yes, Adam. Yes. Do you want to say or to add anything?
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I'm stuck, among all of them. So let's see the next step. What shall I do? Okay, use the process of elimination to eliminate the irrelevant citations that do not meet the main focus of the first question. In case you fail to do that, here came the matching process. And this is the most important part. Now, I need to match the best piece of evidence with the best relevant answer choice found in the first question. Okay, have a look at this step. and, you know, write it, take a screenshot of it because I'm gonna apply it. What is this matching process? Let me get back to the test. Here, I have this question, the first question. I need to match the first question, the first answer with any of these citations. I'll try to find the perfect match, okay? Ignorant of reality. Okay. Ignorant of reality means he is not down to earth. He is not considering the reality. Okay, ignorant of reality. Okay, let me check. Anything is related to the opposite or the, you know, something that is not real and he is considering. Yani something that he is considering, but it is not real. That's why he is ignorant of the reality in citation A, citation B, citation C, and citation D. Okay, now I have some people who'd like to participate. I need more hands to be raised, please. I need, yes, Toqa. Yes, Toqa. Yes. Do you find anything related to, you know?
Isn't being ignorant to reality means that he, you know, he refers more to like imagine stuff, like
Yes,
imagine the gold and
exactly.
silver.
Oh my God. This is your answer, your question. The way your way of thinking is magnificent.
Thanks.
Magnificent. Yes, that's it. Yes, ignore, you know, like ignoring the reality or, you know, lacking the awareness of what is real has to do with his imagination. He is living in a dreamy world. Okay, he is trying to imagine things that are not real, right? Okay, yes. So this one has a certain, you know, match or matching evidence in any of the citations. Okay, let me, yes, complete, Toqa. Complete, honey.
Okay, I think it's the A citation because he's more of imagining gold and silver,
Yes,
the treasure. You know?
excellent. Like he started imagining because he's so obsessed. So he started imagining the gold and silver and precious stones gleaming before him in his imagination. Okay, as he hurried along these passages to the vaults of long dead kings. He wanted, you know, to the extent that he volunteered on, you know, for an unpaid mission. Okay, so if we find, yeah, thank you so much. I totally appreciate your participation. Here, so if we're gonna match A, we're gonna find its suitable, best suitable, you know, citation is to be A. Like this means that I will stop, you know, my trials. No, this is only my first impression. Letter B, lacking in diligence. Lacking in diligence. Diligence means hard work. So he is lacking, it means he's not considered to be hardworking. Of course, letter A, he's hurrying along. No, this he is, you know, hurrying. So this is referring to his hardworking. He is here, no reference to lacking diligence. Lacking, he is lacking something. No, nothing here is to be of a negative tone. Here, after 3 weeks work on this distressing site, the professor announced that he had managed to trace through the mud the outline of, so he had managed doing something and he finished his task, so he is not lacking any diligence. He was then conducted to a desolate spot in the desert, and until the day on which he fled back to England, he was kept to the monotonous task of superintending again a gang, till the very last day he's working. So definitely this one has no match. Okay. Letter C, realistic and wary. Realistic and wary. In case it happens that I don't know the meaning of wary, okay, you need to make sure that as long as these two words are joined by "and", then they are related, then they are relatable. So realistic, definitely, this cannot be matched with A. I'm talking about his imagination, cannot be, matched with this one. Nothing has to do with reality here, being realistic or unrealistic. Here, the same thing has to do with there. So with the letter D, I don't have anything that is related to being realistic and wary. Wary, by the way, means cautious. Okay, you can be writing it down to add it to your, personal dictionary. Realistic and wary. Realistic, all of us know the word realistic means very, is down to earth and, very realistic, is not imaginative. So no match at all. Stubborn and obstinate. Stubborn and obstinate. Actually, as I told you, if you don't know the meaning of obstinate, it is very relatable to stubborn as long as they are both joined with "and". They are going to have the same tone. Stubborn. All of us know the meaning of stubborn, right? Means he is strong-headed. Okay. Here, do you have a certain match? No. A certain match for being stubborn, strong-headed? No. Strong-headed? No. Strong-headed, don't be intimidated. Okay, like day on which he fled back to, he was kept to the monotonous task of the superindenting a gang of natives whose sole business. Now this part is talking about the natives, not talking about him. Here, this part, he is, he was doing his job. Okay, it's not stubborn. Stubborn means like strong-headed. He is he insisted on various on certain opinions and so on. But actually, it seems that like he's not stubborn or anything because he fled back to England. He's not, he didn't continue even after he was frustrated. So the best matches here are to be A, ignorant of reality, and here this one, gold, silver, and precious stones gleamed before him in his imagination as he hurried along these passages to the vaults of long dead kings. So let's wrap up the things that we have done. Okay, just to make it clear. The steps that we followed. We of course get to know what is the evidence-based question, and we got to see the paired ones, the paired ones that are more challenging. This is, by the way, the same steps, but in a different font. Read the heading of the first question and assign its main elements. Try to search for its key elements or their references in each citation found in the evidence question. Use the process of elimination to eliminate the irrelevant citations that do not meet the main focus of the first question. Match the best piece of evidence with the best relevant answer choice found in the first question. And the last thing that you need to pay attention for is what I did with you, but I didn't read this fifth step. If any citation has a transition word that links the previous sentence and a pronoun or an article that refers back to a certain noun, you should consider what is mentioned previously as well. Like exactly what I did when I found he or him. Okay, I read what is before just to make sure that him, this pronoun is referring back to the exact noun I'm targeting. Okay, and all of these sentences are talking about the same person. Okay, guys, so these are, so sometimes you will not find the pronouns. Sometimes you will find what? You will find a transition word, a transition word. What is a transition word? A transition word mean like however, moreover, you know, furthermore, and so on. These transition words, their main job is to you know, link what was stated earlier to what is stated after the transition word. So links what is before to what is after. So making them one unit. So don't ignore reading what is before the citation in case the citation starts with a transition, in case the citation has a certain pronoun, okay, that refers back to a certain noun or proper noun that you are targeting. Is it clear? So hopefully you guys, you know, were able to get to know how to handle the evidence, pieces of evidence questions. I mean, pieces of evidence in the evidence questions, you're able to handle. Definitely the single evidence questions are way easier because you need only to focus on the heading of the evidence question, search for the elements found in the heading of the same evidence question in the citations you're given, and eliminate the choices or the citations that do not include the reference to these main elements. And that's it. Here we go. We have the right answer. Of course, I'm trying my best to finish all the types of questions before the coming trial, just to help my SAT students who are in my courses and the others who are not, to have a quick review on how to deal with the different types of questions easily and smoothly. Definitely, we are gonna be continuing our you know, sessions later, even after the trial, but it will be focusing more on answering the tests, like applying what we've learned. That's why you know, you need to keep reviewing these precious reading sessions, because they help you figure out the basics of the reading in general, and help you understand how to deal with them skillfully. Don't forget that practice makes perfect. We are only introducing, or I'm introducing to you the basics, how to deal with each type of question so that you can be familiar with all of them. You have clear, very clear steps to be followed in order to find the exact or best answer. Don't ever forget that we're trying to find the best answer choice, not even a good one. And most importantly, practice makes perfect. And this is going to be our mission in the coming sessions. Practice, 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 heavy practice after we're done with the theoretical part. Thank you so much for attending this session. Looking forward to meeting you in the coming weeks. Stay safe and happy. Bye.